Welcome to the Magic Reporter demo. My name's Charlie Miller. I'm creator of Magic Reporter, and this is a tool to help you write better reports faster. And we've worked on this software for about a year now, and we've seen the best reports do three things really well. The first is they use fonts to convey multiple meanings, or deeper meanings, so that scores are easily conveyed in a visual language. Second, they use standardized but expressive language across reports. And third and finally, they're really quick with their turnaround times. So we do all of these things for you in three main features of Magic Reporter. The first is a smart formatting tool that takes scores and translates those to fonts. The second is a STEM assistant tool that takes commonly used sentences and incorporates patient context, so you don't have to copy and paste and then reformat based on pronouns and names. And then third, and probably the most important, is a safe and secure way to multitask. So we run a database in the back end that stays locally on your machine. No patient information is transferred anywhere, but that organizes for you in a smart and secure way so that you're not having to manage a complex naming scheme, and so that when Word crashes, you're not trying to recover 1,000 files and figure out which one's the most recent. So the best way to illustrate all of these things together is to show you a completed section of evaluation and then show you how we can do the same thing from nothing and get it done in less than a minute. So we'll start out with smart formatting. As you can see here, if you wanted to do this previously, you had to create a table in Word and then input all the scores. And once you've inputted the scores, go through and reformat those scores based on their attributes, if they were strengths versus weaknesses. And this task, if you're really proficient in Word and Excel, can take you around 10 minutes. It takes around 30 minutes for people that are not that proficient. That's just way too much time. That's unnecessary manual labor that we can automate out with Magic Reporter software. So what we'll do now is I'll show you how this 30-minute task can be done in 20 seconds. And so that's smart formatting. We take this really manually intensive task and automate it. And the great thing is you can bring your formats with you. So if you choose to format green for strengths and blue for weaknesses, just tell us what you want to do, and we can code that into your Magic Reporter. All right, so that brings us to talking about the scores now, which is the STEM assistant. So when we're done with inputting the scores, and now we want to give some more information about those scores and the interpretation behind them, we click this little pencil button down here on the bottom, and then we get the boilerplate. So when did we administer, chronological age, the name of the patient, and then here you can see how we tell the program where to put the tables that we just made. So we've already talked about a few reports before, and just like Chewy, we've talked about verbal comprehension strengths. So as you can see right here in the STEM assistant to the right, there's this row called verbal comprehension strengths, and this will input some standard sentences and verbiage that we used once before to give some color or to give some more information about Chewy's scores. So click it, and there it is, right? It has his name, it has the pronouns correctly written. There was no copying and pasting involved. All we had to do was recognize that this verbal comprehension score was a strength and then choose to talk about it at this part in the report. But, let's talk about how we can make a new STEM. So if we decided to keep writing now and said, in addition to a verbal comprehension strength, Chewy also exhibited a very unique conversational style, period. All right, and so that's great information that we might use again. So let's go ahead and highlight this sentence. We'll click Add STEM, and bam, there it is, right? It's already added for us. Now what we need to do is just kind of change up and tell the computer where exactly we want the patient name. So we'll take out Chewy, we'll put patient name, and then we'll title it real quick. We'll call it Unique Conversational Style. Hit the check mark, and that's it, right? So now we have a new STEM that we can use with any patient. And so that takes care of two main features for us, right? It takes care of smart formatting and STEM assistant to help us write more expressive reports faster, really. So this brings us to transferring and multitasking, right? So this is great. We've written a lot about Chewie here, but what about someone else? So let's click the menu button up here to the left and then click on Chewbacca and then look, there it is. All of these different rows are different reports and different patients. And behind these patients can be one report or multiple reports. So we're now changing the organization structure to be around the patient so that we can compare yearly reports as they come back in. That's a whole nother demo video, but let's go into now just Nick Tesla's report. Nicholas Tesla. We'll do his 1850s report, and then we'll look at his scores and go down to Whisk, and just like that, in under 5 seconds, we've switched gears to a different patient. We haven't had to worry about saving because it's handled for us. We haven't had to worry about naming. We haven't had to worry about copying and pasting the Whisk table if we did that too. It's super simple now. You just work on the thing that's in front of you so that you can think in flow, so you can write in flow. But let's go ahead and just show you how all this kind of comes together. Of course, the scores are here. Now we see the table. Let's click on the pencil. And now that we've clicked on the pencil, let's add in unique conversational style to Tesla's as well. As you can see here, he is highly proficient in a lot of things. And so we added the same language. It changes it to Nick Tesla. Amazing, right? And so now that we're done with this section, we'll click on this little button here to the right. It exports the file to a Word doc. We open it up, and there we are. In less than a couple of minutes, we've done the same work that usually takes us about an hour, depending on who you are. If you're really proficient, we've saved you around 20 minutes. If you're, not that proficient with Word and Excel, and it's okay, not many people are, that's an hour saved. So we're excited to bring this to you in Magic Reporter. This is our first release. There's so many other features that we're going to be releasing throughout the next years, really. And we can't wait to have you join us on this journey. This is going to be a super easy way to write better reports faster. So thank you for taking time to watch this video. If you are interested, please message us on our website, and we look forward to hearing from you. Thanks.